Hello, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you're listening to VCR. Hey, Roxy, how are you?
I'm great. Just got a little itchy nose.
Little itchy nose, little itchiness. Someone had a little itchy wig yesterday, though.
Not really itchy. It was just
Driving you
tangly.
nuts.
It
Yeah.
was tangly. Like every time I moved, I was like, God dang.
It's
Like I
now.
couldn't turn my head without it tangling up. I was
hmm.
like, geez.
Now, for all of those out there who are wondering why is she messing with an itchy, tangly wig, that's because yesterday we were at Comicpalooza, one of the state's largest comic book conventions, and then also one of the largest in the US, not the largest, but one of the largest in the US.
Mhm.
And we had a really great time. We got invited out to take a look at everything and see what was going on. And we really, really enjoyed ours. We were kind of a hit this year. We kind
Yeah.
of were. Normally we show up and no one cares that we're there. But the truth
Well,
is,
they care that I'm there.
whatever. Anyway, so the truth is that we actually did something weird, or I should say I did something weird. Roxy normally just does it. But this is the first time I had ever dressed up for Comic Palooza.
Yeah.
And Roxy tends to go. Like she's been Raven a couple times. She's been
I know I forgot what I dressed up as last time. I was trying to remember. I was like, what did I dress up as? I really don't remember.
I do.
Oh,
Sexy Darth Vader. You went
yeah, it just
Darth
popped in my
Vader.
brain.
Yeah, so she's gone as sexy Darth Vader. She's gone as Raven twice. And I've never dressed up. I normally just wear this stupid t-shirt that says pretend I'm a superhero because I think it's funny. But that's normally what I do. But this year I was like, no, no, I'm gonna put it to the internet and see what the internet says. And I gave it the option of going as Fester Adams or Gomez Adams. And Gomez won hands
Hands
down.
down.
Not even one vote for Fester.
Not a
Um,
single.
but I went and dressed up as Gomez Adams, and I had a really cute prosthetic thing on my shoulder.
It was cute with his cowboy hat.
Yes, and put a little cowboy hat on it, and I called it a Texas thing. And someone was
I
all
keep rolling my
jealous.
eyes.
Yes,
It
someone
was
was
funny the first few times, and then it was like, oh my God. But I get
because
it because like it's funny to like everybody's new to it.
mhm.
So it's like
But someone was being bitter
I
because
was
she
like,
was
oh my God, check your thing.
getting not enough attention.
No, thing was the highlight. Oh, like everybody was like, oh my God.
Yes,
He
everyone
was the
loved.
attention grabber
Yes, people wanted pictures of Thing and
of
all this
thing,
other
just
good stuff.
thing.
Just Thing. They were like, "Oh my
I
God, I
thought that
love
was
Thing.
funny.
Can I get a picture?" I was like, "Sure." But people loved Thing. It really was cute.
It was cute.
And we were an absolute hit this year. People were coming up to us asking us to stop to do pictures and do pictures
Hmm.
with them, and that was a lot of fun because normally we don't get that kind of attention because we're just there for the interview aspect. And
Hmm.
Roxy does get that attention because she does dress up, but I normally don't. And this year was the first time I did it. And I have to admit, it went well for a guy who was just wearing a three-piece suit and a hand on his shoulder.
And a hand on his shoulder.
Went really, really well.
I really wish I could have got that cousinette bag. Like
Oh
that would have been so
man.
awesome.
That would have been great. You could have held that up in the pictures, like, oh my
Yeah.
God. But this year, Comic Palooza kind of did something different, and maybe they did it last year. We didn't go last year because it was the first time that we had not gone, but we didn't go last year because we had some conflicts happening. And then this year, we went, and man, it just looked like it was bigger. There
Yeah,
was
it looked
definitely
like they
more
expanded that room.
Oh my God. Yeah, it looked like they expanded it both ways. And
Mm.
not just that, but they also had way more vendors than I've ever seen
Yeah.
before. I mean, there
There was
was
a
a
lot of
lot.
people there this year, a lot of
Oh
vendors
my
this
goodness.
year.
A lot of comic book startups. And that so me and Roxy mostly go to champion on the comic book startups because of how
Mm.
hard it is to start a comic
Hmm.
in any area or of any genre. So we try to look for, those who are struggling to try to make it. And we
Mhm.
found quite a few of them,
Oh
and we
yeah.
really enjoyed them. We were only rejected by one group
Yeah.
for an interview, and I was like, "Well, we didn't want to interview you anyway, so
Right. Yeah. That's fine.
that's fine. Don't care on you. I want to read your stupid comic anyway." But everyone
No.
else was happy to talk to us, including a couple of the smaller little vendors. When we only interviewed one like random vendor, uh,
Oh yeah.
and that's
I
because
loved her stuff
her
though.
stuff was so great and
So
unique
cute.
that we had to interview. It was like, and it was Roxy's idea. She's like, we need to interview her, and I was like, okay, we will. And so we did, and it was really great. But we started talking to quite a few people. We're going to be playing their interviews throughout the show. But before we jump into all that, when you see me and Roxy right now in our element, we're just going to be chit-chatting about Comicpalooza, and then boom, all of a sudden it's going to break into an interview with one of the comic books or book writers or our new favorite,
Vendor.
Sense by Lex. So hello, Vara the VCR, also still here at Comicpalooza, enjoying ourselves, and we are here with
Lex
Lex and
from Sense by Lex.
okay. And she makes these magnificent sprays and candles that are so good that I actually had to buy one. I actually had to buy one. And so tell us a little bit about your shop and like you all these are handmade,
Yes,
right? So
correct.
she has some very cool ones that I hope you can see. Actually, if, take a look at that. Isn't that cool? And they smell wonderful too. Absolutely amazing. So, what was your inspiration behind this? Like your different themed
I
candles here?
I've always been obsessed with candles.
Mm,
So when COVID hit, I was at home. I didn't have nothing to do, so I just bought a bunch of inventory and I was like, let me make them.
mhm,
So then friends and family started buying them. So I'm like, okay, I can do this.
mhm.
So I started selling at shows.
Okay.
And then I started with plain candles.
Mhm.
It's the characters that had me employed full time because now I can do this full time.
Oh, that is so awesome. So you do this now full time then?
Since I started doing the characters, yeah. Everybody
Okay.
loves the themes. Mhm.
Awesome. So do you do this full time in the sense of like you have a shop somewhere here in Houston or you go to shows
No,
all the
I
time?
I had a store, but they closed down the painted trees.
Okay.
So
Ah,
I do
yes.
shows every weekend,
Hmm.
and then I work from my house. So I
Okay.
haven't taken the plunge to start a shop yet.
But that's very cool that you're able to, do this full time and
Yes,
everything.
I do
So,
love it. I love
yeah,
it.
no, absolutely understand. So the VCR show also was a product of COVID too. Like
Oh
stuck at
yeah.
home, and then we ended up creating some type of weird podcast because everyone was going crazy, of course.
Right. You're at home. You need something to do. Yes.
Absolutely. So is it just you, or do you have helpers with this?
Family. So
Family?
my husband and my son.
Okay, wonderful. And how do they feel about helping you out with all this?
You know, it's
They're okay with it. Yeah.
yeah, they're okay with it, but sometimes it is a lot. But
Mm.
mostly it's just me.
Ah, understood it. What is your most popular scent that you have?
I want to say sea salt and orchid. That's
Okay.
actually the one
That I
spray
bought,
that you
yes.
bought.
It
That
was
is,
magnificent.
yeah,
I will say
that is
that.
my
Yeah.
bestseller.
Okay.
Yeah.
And out of your candles, which one is your most popular?
The most popular candle, I want to say, the one that always sells
Mhm.
is the iced coffee.
Iced coffee?
This one right
Okay.
here.
This one. All right.
That one or the Fruit Loops.
Oh my, it actually does smell like real coffee. Oh my God, that's amazing. I want my iced coffee and my book spicy. Uh, I love that. I love that. So and if you can look at it, it looks like coffee with ice in it. It's so very cool. So that is so awesome. Very cool. So if someone wanted to purchase your candles online or anything like that, where could they find that?
They can find me on Etsy.
Okay.
So, Sense by Lex is my Instagram,
Hmm.
and my Etsy is in the bio.
Okay, very cool. And could you spell that out for our audience? Just a bit?
Yes, Sense by Lex is SCENTS dot by underscore Lex.
Perfect. See,
I
that's
should
what.
pop up right away.
Yeah, yeah, I should definitely pop
Yeah.
up right. Well, thank you so much. We really
Oh,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
We're gonna kind of do all that good stuff, but the costumes this year were pretty fly. I got to admit,
There
like
were a lot of good costumes
they
this year.
really
Really good.
were. Like I was so impressed with some of the costumes. But then again, I'm not really. I know for a pop culture show, I'm not really up on the modern pop culture show stuff. And Roxy kept saying, "Look, it's the Oddlies." And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" You know,
No, the
she's like,
Fairly Odd Parents.
"The Fairly Odd Parents," and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
I'm like,
And
what?
she's like, "The Fairly Odd Parents." I was like,
You
repeating it
know, the
doesn't.
godparents on the Fairly Odd Parents. Huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Can we do this
Awesome.
interview now? So that because I
Even
had no
Stacy
idea.
too. I'd be pointing something out. She's like, "Who? What is
Who?
that? I don't
What the
know."
what the fuck is that? What are you talking about? So it was kind of one of those things. But like Roxy didn't identify stuff that I just was not aware of. So like there's this one young lady running around the convention. I had no idea who she was until Roxy was like, "It's a Power Puff Girl." And
Powerpuff Girl. She was Bubbles.
I was like, "Oh, okay." And but I wouldn't have known that just by her running around. I thought she was just like someone running around.
You were like, "Well, that's an interesting outfit."
Like that's fascinating. Like some of the costumes I was able to identify, some I'm not. The one that I was shocked that I identified was, and I have to admit, it was brilliant. Roxy, tell me if you disagree or not. It's the young lady who was dressed as the handy dandy
The
notepad.
handy dandy notebook. Oh
I was
my
like,
God. She was
oh.
so great. I was like, that is a brilliant costume. Like,
I was
that is
like,
so good. I
are
love it.
you Blues Clues? And
He's
she's
the Blues
yeah, she was excited that
Clues.
I don't know if a lot of people were catching on to it, but she was so excited. I was like,
She looked so good. I loved her
had to
outfit.
get a photo of her. She was so good in that costume. And some of them, I didn't see as many, but it was cool to see it. Chainsaw Man or
Oh
Chainsaw.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one year, I think the first year, they were Chainsaw Man was
Oh,
everywhere.
no, no, that was so we're getting our conventions confused. We went
I
to
know.
that
I said, remember
anime.
the
Yeah.
first one? No,
Yes.
at the first Comicpalooza, there was Chainsaw Man everywhere. And then at the anime one,
Yeah,
that's
oh
all
my
it was.
God. It was just Chainsaw Man everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are there no other animes out here? Chainsaw.
And this year, I think I only saw that one Chainsaw
Yeah, it was
Man.
the one chainsaw guy. Roxy got to see her favorite, I guess you could say her hero, Art the Clown was walking
Yeah,
around.
Terrifier was
Yeah,
there.
Terrifier was there. Surprise did
And he
not
honked his
scare.
horn at us.
Yes, did not scare Dacia. I was
And oh,
surprised at
she was
that.
like,
She
ah.
was like, "Oh, took that like it saw that, took that as
I was like, that's
Dacia
my
is
girl.
Stacy is a really good friend of Roxy's. They both do the modeling circuit, and Stacy has a beautiful little baby daughter named Dacia, who is no more than what, a year old.
She's gonna be 2 in a couple months.
She's gonna be two in a couple of months. So
Hmm.
wow, I'm off. But like saw Art the Clown, didn't phase her one bit.
She
Like
actually kind of lit up and giggled.
it was like, ah, stupid people.
I was like, yeah, that's my baby.
It was then I didn't see as many Trekkies. So I saw like one guy running around as like a cheap Trekkie.
I
Uh
didn't see him.
there were
I
quite
saw
a
some stormtroopers. There
definitely
was
storm
some
the
Star Wars stuff.
Mandalorian. You had a lot of
Hmm.
you had a lot more Star Wars going on than anything else. You had
No, there
some.
was a lot of Mario Brothers this
Oh
year.
my God,
A
yeah,
lot of
Mario
Mario
Brothers.
Brothers.
We came across one and they had their own little speaker system
It was
playing,
so cute.
and they would just bust out in a random little weird
Like
Mario
like
dance. Like
slow dance like to the music. Like
I was like, what the fuck? But they were just so happy. Oh my God,
My favorite in that group was the version of Princess Peach. It was like a
he
prince,
he was
like the
so
old school prince
yeah.
attire, and was like
Oh
pink.
my
He
God.
looked
He was
so good. I
hysterical.
loved it. I loved
Oh,
it.
there. Oh, the sorceress, the lady who came as the original sorceress from He-Man. That outfit
Mm.
was
Oh
really
yeah, that was
that was
good.
great. That costume was great. I'm gonna be honest. So we went out to the celebrity area. Not as many of them were out as normally. Some of them were, some of them weren't. Roxy did not get to see her
I didn't
favorite.
get to see Kristen Ritter.
She didn't get to see Kristen Ritter. The La Bamba guy was somewhere around there. I saw photos of him. I didn't actually see
I
him.
didn't see him either.
But when we were there, we didn't see a whole lot of the celebs. It was more like the voice people than anything
Hmm.
else. Uh,
Cosplayers and the voiceover people,
yes, absolutely. And then it was just kind
voice
of
actors.
yes, the voice actors. But through that, we're able to catch a lot of interviews. Like there's like a couple of comics, startup comics that were there. I gotta admit, like the one that caught our attention. Well, it caught Rox's attention immediately. It takes me a minute to catch on. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. I was like, I'm sorry, what? I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
was like, oh my God. And so I was like, hey, did you see that one? He's like, what?
what the fuck? Do you mean Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? No.
No, Harriet Tubman, Demon
I
Slayer.
was like, go on, more words are needed.
Comic book over there.
And then we're doing an interview with a guy about at the VCR show, still here at the fabulous Comicpalooza here in Houston, Texas. And I'm here with Mr.
Hi, I'm David Crownson.
David Crownson, who is the creator of this very interesting comic that I'm fascinated with, Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. So, how did you come up with this storyline? What inspired you?
I just wanted to scare racists. That was it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was half of it, though. No, it just started out just really random.
Mhm.
Like I think I was watching a documentary about Harriet Tubman,
Mhm.
and then immediately after that, I was watching a martial arts movie,
Mhm.
Project Tiger: Hidden Dragon. Shout out to Ang Lee.
There you go.
And then immediately after that, I watched Hansel and Gretel: Witch Hunters.
Mhm.
It was a terrible movie. Like it was really bad.
It was.
Like I was so disappointed. I like made a whole journal entry about it, and in my journal, like these things stood out, and it was Harriet Tubman katana fight scene in Witch Hunters, and I was like, wait, like what if Harriet Tubman like beats up a racist werewolf? I don't know, and yeah, it all just kind of like came into my brain like that, and then I just kind of spiraled into this idea of like, what if like Harriet Tubman knew martial arts, had superhuman strength, and like it's the world building of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer with like the catharsis of Django Unchained,
Mhm.
but still being grounded, like treating it like a straight up biography, though.
Very cool. No, that's really dedication and love there to the storyline. I mean, that's
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. So that's where you're coming. How long has your comic been out for?
Okay, so it's been out since 2017. I did the first publication, self-published through Kickstarter, and then every other year I would just publish a new issue, do another Kickstarter, and then I was going to move on and do a graphic novel in 2020. I was like, all right, 2020 is going to be my year. All right, we're going to do this graphic novel. It's going to be great. I'm going to go on tour. It's going to be great. And then 2020 happened,
Yeah.
and I was very humbled.
Yeah.
And then I just kept releasing single issues. And then around 2022, I released the first edition of the graphic novel. And then I signed a distribution publishing partnership with Massive Publishing just to get the books in stores nationwide.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone was interested in getting a hold of your comic, where can they go to find it?
You can either go to any bookstore, any comic book store, or you can go to my website, kingwoodcomics.com, or meet me at a convention. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that wonderful interview. I really appreciate it. And this is Vada, and we'll see you in the next interview. Some of them were very I found that so there is a lady by the name of Melissa Allgood who does sci-fi thrillers and horror. She's an author local here in Houston, and she had a book that I thought was fascinating, and I probably should have bought it while we were there. But the book that was based on Taylor Swift's album,
Oh
and
yeah, that
like
sounded
every
interesting.
story, so for every song on the album, there's a story that she created that corresponds with it. That was just quite, I thought, quite brilliant of an idea, to be
Yeah, that's
very
really
honest.
cool.
and
I
some.
know I should have got her book because I wanted to start the book in that one series that she wrote because I was like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yes, and she had the cutest little idea too with the books that are wrapped. So it's like a mystery
Yes.
book that was wrapped up, and it came with a bookmarker and a
A
packet
bag
of
of tea.
tea, and then also the rating on bookrating.com. And I was like, that is a neat little gift concept. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And it was for like $10. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was absolutely brilliant.
I'm Vara, the VCR Show, once again coming to you at Comicpalooza here in Houston, Texas, with my always lovely co-host as Morticia behind the camera, but she does exist. She hasn't left yet. But we are here with,
Melissa Allgood, Houston author.
and she is the author of the book series here. Which one's your favorite out of all of them? Which one?
Probably my favorite series is the Enhanced Beings series.
Okay.
It's X-Men Stranger Things vibes about a group of superpowered 20-somethings on the run from the lab that created and continued to test on them.
And so, with that being said, tell us a little bit more about what inspired you behind the book.
So, ironically, a lack of inspiration inspired me. I was driving home from work and I had no thoughts in my mind of what I could write next. So I went onto Netflix and just picked a random movie, and I found The Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron.
Okay.
And thank God for Charlize,
Mhm.
because she inspired me. She was such a badass in that movie that I created a badass character, Talitha, as sort of a homage to Charlize.
Okay.
And yeah, so thank you to her for inspiring me.
And how long have you been writing?
Well, I've been writing since like middle school, but professionally for about 11 years now. I have 12 titles out currently, and I'm working on my 13th title. That will be out this November.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about the 13th title that's coming?
I would love to.
Okay.
So it is going to be my most horrifying and bloodiest and most murderous book, fictitiously all of course.
Of course.
But it's called Teenage Death Trap, and it's about a teenage girl that sees death, but no one believes her, and she's trying to stop a massacre from happening. So she's using the help of her twin brother and a guy named Jake, who's an ex-skateboarder, who's also in her premonition. So she's trying to save the town, essentially, but everyone thinks she's crazy.
And you have a book here that you were saying was inspired by a Taylor Swift album?
Yes.
So could you tell us more about that?
I would love to tell you about that. So that's called Death by 21 Midnights, and it is an anthology collection. And it is inspired by Taylor Swift's Midnights, as you said. So each track on the album has a horror story to correspond with it. And that was actually inspired by a friend. He had been bullied, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I could fictitiously kill his bully? So I decided to listen to the song Karma from Taylor Swift. And
Great song, by the way.
I mean, hello, yeah. And because I thought karma could get said bully. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I wrote a short story to go with each of these tracks? And so I did. And it was almost a dare to myself. And I completed the task. So, yeah.
That is so cool. So out of all these, do you have a favorite character that you've created out? Is there one that like kind of haunts you or screams to you?
Well, Hannah in my upcoming book, Teenage Death Trap, I've been working with her for about 5 years, so she's been in my head a lot.
Okay.
But as far as like currently out that people can read, Nina in the Enhanced Beings series, she's a secondary character in the first book, but she becomes a primary character in the third book. And I'd say Nina is probably the closest to my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything in particular that makes her so close to your heart?
I mean, if you read, I feel like she's maybe a little bit like me.
Okay.
She's a little bit of a wallflower, but her superpower is super strength, and she never wants to really hurt anyone. So even though her power, she could kill anyone and bust up their face, Jessica Jones style, she's much more demure than Jessica Jones.
Okay.
So even though she's a badass internally, she doesn't really want to be that badass. So it's a little push and pull between, you know, being uber psycho killer and being feminine mystique. So I feel a little bit of that too. Yeah.
So for inspiring writers, people out there who want to, be a writer like you, what did you do to become a writer? Like, what kind of advice would you give an inspiring writer?
I would say read a lot and read outside of the genre that you want to write in. That way you can kind of get a more broader sense of everything. Because again, I write a lot of horror, so I read a lot of horror and watch a lot of horror movies. So I also like to read, honestly, a lot of romance. Something completely different to kind of change the pace and also think about character development. And I got some really great advice I heard it at an author talk, and she said when writing secondary characters, remember that your secondary characters believe that they are Beyonce. Your secondary characters believe that they are the lead, so when you're writing them, don't push them off into the side. Let them shine, even though they're not technically the star of the show.
That is absolutely brilliant writing advice. I love that. So, if someone was interested in picking up one of your books, where could they go to find your books?
So you could check my website, melissaallgood.com, for all my in-person events, but also bookshop.org is a great place to find all my books. Also Beyond the Covers, which is a local Houston area website that could get you there, and barnesandnoble.com. So yeah.
And if someone wants to follow you and keep up with your happenings, what social media platforms do you have, if any?
Instagram is where I'm the most, and that's Mel Allgood Author. And I am on TikTok a lot, but I do sometimes, I'm also a hairdresser, so sometimes I put my hair stuff out there. Okay. But yeah, I'm on Instagram a lot, and I do scroll TikTok, so I might even find you there accidentally.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this wonderful interview, and thank you so much, and we will catch you in the next interview.
To promote ourselves and to kind of show, hey, you know, we're a thing too. I gave out these little keychains. That was actually kind of cute. They
was
actually
cute.
seemed to like it. They seemed to really like it. But it had our scan codes and everything on it, and we're just kind of running around. I had a great time. Roxy, was there anything at Comicpalooza that you really enjoyed that kind of stuck out with you?
So I was caught by surprise to find out that they actually hosted wrestling this year.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was like, hold on, what?
We're sitting there, and I was trying to reattach thing to my shoulder because it kept falling off. So Roxy had to do it for me. And I'm not going to get into my one little issue with Comic Con. It was so minor, but the thing is, like, I went to the info desk and I was like, hey, do they have that costume repair, makerspace thing here that helps with the costumes? Oh, I have no idea. I haven't heard about it. Sure enough, big old banner way at the end after we've already spent time fixing it. There they were, and I was like, "Oh my God." So anyway, that was our one. But like we're sitting there and we're trying to get thing attached to my shoulder, and all we hear is "Ow!" And I was like, "What the
I
fuck
didn't know. And
is
then people
that?"
screaming and like, whoa!
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening over there?
Wrestling. They had wrestling going on over there. Blew my
Wrestling.
mind.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
You
They
want to
had
wrestle?
they were wrestling over there. I was like, oh my, they had
I
a
was like,
whole
oh,
ring and
wow.
everything. I was like, oh my goodness, that's kind of cool. So yeah, that surprised me. That was fun. I just had a good time looking at everyone in their costumes and enjoying
Yes.
themselves.
There were
Uh,
so many good ones this year. Oh, and I did see some Harley Quinns this year.
yes, a couple of, oh my God, the
And
one
one
that
of
was
like
on
one of the original
stilts.
ones where she's
Oh,
like the jester
yes, and but the one at the end when we're leaving, the
on
one
the
who's standing there with
stilts.
stilts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good, so good. Don't know why, but that was a brilliant touch to it.
It was. It looked so
Um,
good.
the other, I think the thing that was kind of impressive for me, and I'm not saying anything about us, is that how many people we were the only ones in an Adams family theme.
Hmm.
So it was me as Gomez, Roxy as Morticia, and thing, and everyone loved it and gravitated towards it. Like there
Hmm.
was so
Like
many
as soon as
people.
we'd walk by or coming up there, we're like, oh, the Addams family.
Oh my God. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God, Morticia. And
Oh my God, look, it's Thing.
look at
It's Thing.
thing.
And I was like, that was
And I'm
just
so glad you did not bust out that joke. I'm so glad you didn't.
which one? Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
want to touch my thing? I was
Don't
like,
touch
don't
my
say that.
thing.
I
That,
was like, no,
that
please don't say
that
that.
would have been like terrible, so we will say this, it was great. It was wonderful. People really
It
enjoyed
was.
us. We enjoyed them. Um,
The girl that was with the little car from Wreck-It
yes,
Ralph.
yeah,
That was so cute.
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. People get really creative at Comicpalooza and had a wonderful time. Um, we do the normal thing after Comicpalooza. We're dead tired because we've been walking everywhere. So we grabbed somewhere to eat, and now we know we're not going to go back to that place.
Yeah, now we know we're not going back to
Yeah,
that restaurant.
that was for such an elegant restaurant
It
that
was
that was
very nice.
trash
Very
food.
nice.
Yeah, the
But
food
there's no
was
reason I should have left out of there hungry still.
no, seriously, no joke. So we're driving. I'm driving her back to her car, and what ends up happening is that she's hungry and I'm hungry. We just finished eating. I was like, you know what? You want to go to Whataburger? We ended up at Whataburger because we're just still really hungry after that pathetic meal.
It was
Uh, it was like so bad. So anyway, we ended up there. But even at this really elegant restaurant, when we were walking out, people were like, "Oh my God, Gomez and Morticia."
yeah. And they weren't even part of Comicpalooza. They were
No, and
just like regular patrons.
they were staring at Thing and they're like, "Oh my God, that is so cool." Uh uh oh my I love the fact, it's one of those things where you realize what you do kind of matters to people because it brings them
Mhm,
joy in a weird way. But like all the
mhm.
kids that would light up when they saw Thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love the fact one of the kids actually asked, "Is it real?" And I was
Yeah,
like, no, sweetie, it's
that little
not
girl.
real.
She was
Oh,
like,
like
"Is
it's
this
not real, but what
real?"
happens when you don't pay attention in class?
Right?
So, it was cute, but like even that
Again, it was
kid,
my daughter. She was misbehaving.
right? Even that kid who was like, "Oh my God." It's like, and he wanted a picture, him and his dad wanted a picture with us.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, I was like, it was just so awesome. And like, and when we're leaving, what I love about Comicpalooza too, and I'm not trying to be weird or cruel in any way whatsoever. But like those who have mental challenges
Oh yes, yes.
and
Oh,
they're
that guy at the
dressed,
end,
oh
he
yes,
was so sweet.
he loved us and he
He
was so
did.
sweet
He was,
and he was just thrilled to see us and he was because like
and
the
I was like,
Addams family,
yeah.
it wasn't until we were leaving that Roxy explained to me because I'm like, why the fuck does everyone snap? I was like,
Why they keep snapping at
like,
us?
are you calling for me? Like, am I a dog or something? And Roxy was like, it's the snap in the Addams Family song. I was like, oh, oh. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Oh, I was
It,
like,
it,
oh my God. You've been going this whole time
uh,
wondering what the hell?
I was like, what the fuck? Why are they being so rude to us?
Like, I'm sorry, am I in your way?
I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, that was so weird. So it took me a bit. It was like we were literally walking to the car when she explained why the fuck that was happening. I was like, I was like so slow. But no, the fact that so many people, it means so much to so many people. And
It
I'm gonna go
does.
ahead and do this. Like this meant the world to me. Like I was so, and then supporting like small businesses that are there. That means a
I
lot to me
love
and
supporting
Roxy.
small local businesses. Yes.
Absolutely. So I like bought this because I'm always looking for air fresheners that I like because I have three dogs and two turtles. And so it is this. I bought this. It's called the Ice Cream Truck is Coming and it's a really brilliant scent. I absolutely loved it. It's like sea salt and caramel type of thing, a scent, and it's by Scents by Lex, which is a local. And what was really cool is that she's doing this enough to where this is her full-time job
For
now,
full
which
time
I
now.
thought
That's
was
so
cool. That is
awesome.
so awesome. I love that. And like, but her candles are wicked cool. It's like
So freaking cute.
one of them was called I would rather be at home eating flaming hot Cheetos than out with you. Remember that? And
No,
it's
there was I think it said something about I'll always be the girl that chooses hot Cheetos over you or something
yes,
like
something
that.
like that. And it's actual like these flaming hot Cheetos in the candle and it smelt so good.
And
And
it
then the
did not
one
smell like flaming hot Cheetos. It
no, it
smelled like
did
something
not.
else.
It smelled, but the iced tea and coffee one smelled
That one smelled.
so, so good. And then Roxy found one, something about I'd rather be no matter how many times I'm reborn, I'd
There's like
rather be Latina or something.
I will always choose to be Latina in every lifetime.
Yeah, something like that. That smelled amazing as well. So Sense by Lexi was really, really good.
It
And
was
then,
really
of
cool. Like
course,
all of her candles had different themes. There was like Terrifier ones, Chucky
yes.
ones, like Be My Friend, Friends Forever, I think is what that one said.
hmm
And there was
It
a Scream one. It was I think it was Hi Sydney or something like Hello Sydney.
And
something
then
like
again, they all smelled fabulous. Me and Roxy are also tea fans. We like the teas. And this, we picked up this. Not that we're not, these people aren't giving us money or promoting us in that
no.
way. So, but like we do
We're
love,
just
and
sharing the ones that we really
we
enjoyed.
support products that we know are, business friendly kind of things.
Yes.
So True Honey Teas is a really good. This is lavender lemonade,
Hmm.
and this is actually really really good. I had one that I
Delicious.
got a couple of years ago that I really really like, and in all honesty, I cannot find it. I forgot
You
the name
can't
of
remember
it.
what it is.
I can't remember the name. So when I
Last
was
year,
there, I couldn't find it. But I'm over there drinking all the teas to see
trying
which
to
one
see if that was it. You
it
could
was.
find
They
it.
didn't have that particular one, but I'm sure if I went online to True Honey Teas, I could find it. I was like, oh my,
Last year, I got their hibiscus tea.
yes, that one. That actually is a
Oh.
good one. She does enjoy that. So we have all this really cool stuff that we like to do and buy and support.
That lavender lemonade, I'm gonna mess around and throw some vodka in it. It was so
There
good.
you go. And that, well, here's the other thing is like, not only that, but
I'm Vara with the VCR Show, and we're here at Comicpalooza in Houston, Texas, and we're talking to
Ryan Doobie,
Ryan Doobie, and he is the artist for the comic.
the Nephilim.
So tell us a little bit about the comic. What's
Yes.
what's the storyline behind it?
So it takes place with a young 23-year-old who is just discovering that he has his powers. And so we developed a new power set called Dark Light Energy. So it's something that I wanted to give him something a little bit different than what you've seen before, and I wanted to come up with something unique, so that it's power that comes from within him, and it comes from within his cells. So he's able to harness it, and it kind of comes out like you could akin it to like a Green Lantern or maybe Static Shock or something like that. For those characters, for people who are familiar with those, where he can create constructs, but what it does is it's very similar to the Flash, where it sort of drains him of his own vitality, so where he is. He expends a lot of his energy, his personal energy, using the power. So he has to be very cautious and very mindful for how he does it. But he's a 23-year-old, so of course he's not going to do that.
Right.
So he's going to just kind of jump in headstrong, do whatever he wants to do, and then kind of deal with things as they come or as they happen.
Okay.
And so in this comic book here, I created him. He's a 23-year-old kid who lives with his mom, and she goes out and she's a nurse. And while she's out, he's doing this. And so yeah, we had the concept a long time ago when we played a video game called DC Universe Online, and that came out in like 2011. And so my kids and myself, we just sort of riffing on, because in that game you're able to come up with your own characters. And so we were like, well, what would we do if we actually came up with our own characters, right? And that sort of stemmed from end of these discussions, and we said, well, what's one of the great things about characters? Well, number one, what sort of power do they have? What power set? That has to be interesting. So we're like, okay, well, that's cool. So we came up with Dark Light Energy. And then the next thing that really compels people about characters is the villains. If you have a really good villain, if you have a really good rogues gallery, then that itself is, if you look at Batman has the best rogues gallery of all.
Right.
All of his villains people pretty much know by name. His next from that would probably be like Spider-Man. Spider-Man has the next well-known villain, rogue gallery, followed by maybe the Flash and then Superman. Like Superman, you know of Lex Luthor and Doomsday and things like that. And when you think of the villains, you think of, okay, man, what does the hero need to do to thwart the enemy? What does he need to do to save the day? Well, that's sort of what we're doing with this. We're introducing a villain at the end from our rogues gallery, and that's so the Neff. He's used to dealing with like local thugs, right? So he's overconfident because he's a 23-year-old super powered. So, and he thinks he has these abilities and can do whatever he wants. Well, when he meets somebody that actually has tactical mercenary type training, like, well, what does he do? It doesn't end well for him. So he has to learn from that and say, okay, well, how do I overcome this disability or this lack of knowledge or this lack of understanding? How do I fight hand to hand?
Right.
Because I'm used to overpowering my I don't want to say victims, but I'm overpowering the enemies that he encounters on his patrol, right?
Right.
So I was like, that's something, and so we created our first villain is Night Hunter, and then in the next issue there'll be Jack O' Lantern. Then we have another that uses dark light, and they all sort of have a tie to the dark light energy. You know, they all utilize it and harness it in different ways. So we have a speedster villain, to where what he does is he absorbs the dark light energy, and then his suit allows him to use a sort of speed force. But and so you know the Nephilim that comes, it's within his cell, so he generates the dark light energy. So the villain is able to siphon the dark light energy from him in order to power him. So the hero has to understand, well, what do I do, or how do I get it to where I'm not drained of this power in order to overcome this threat? So just different things like that. And we have another character who's able to create a synthetic dark light energy, because with the Nep, his dark light energy is he has to hold it, he has to touch it. So anything that he constructs has to be something that is still connected to his body. So he can make nunchucks, or he can make bracers, or he creates a grapple, and or a shield, or just pretty much anything, but that it has to touch it, right?
Okay.
And so with our other villain, Jack O' Lantern, he's able to understand how to create it into a projectile. So we wanted to create something that was very diverse and very you could the imagination. You're limited only by your own imagination. So I'm like, hey, let's go as far as we can with pushing how many different characters can use it in a different way, in a creative way.
So how long has this been out on shelves, or is this its first?
This is
production?
first. We just got these
Okay.
printed. I just received them from being printed last week.
Okay.
So this is the first time that we put them out on shelves. It's the first time you're able to get this in hand. We have also on our website the PDF, so you can download that as well. But yeah, this is the first time we actually got this thing in a printed form. So very excited about it.
So let's go ahead and jump into
Yes, sir.
it. If someone wanted to buy your comic, where can they go to buy it?
They can purchase it from zevercomics.com.
Spell that out for them.
ZeeverComics.com, and we sell everything there. You can, if you want to purchase it, we made our own. If you want to follow me, you can follow me inside. Everything that we've done, we've created in house. So we have 3D printed statues of Nephilim, so you can sort of see how he looks. We also printed him in multicolor, using different filaments. And then I screen printed my own shirts.
Nice.
I used to work for a screen printing company, so I screen printed my own shirts, which are here. I have 2 different styles. These are for our plus size members that,
Right.
it's and then this is for our smaller size
Fans and all that. Yeah,
We'll say
there you
fans,
go.
yeah. There you go.
So you got
And
t-shirts and
we have,
that's what they
here's
actually
the
look like.
t-shirts.
Okay.
Here's what they look like unfolded.
Okay.
And then I have other artwork. I wanted to show off that, hey, I've done other things besides this. So I wanted to show off my Mickey Mouse and Roadrunner and Batman, and I wanted to show an image of Nephilim standing next to other heroes. What does he look like? Does he look like he fits? One of the things that I did with the color scheme is that heroes back in the day, when you used to get older comics, they could only be printed in certain colors.
Right.
So they had what's called Pantones. So the heroes would normally or typically be colored in blue, red, or yellow, because those are primary colors, and your villains would be green, purple, and orange.
Colors, yeah.
Right. And because those are secondary colors.
Right.
So I figured, okay, well, this character here, he's a good guy, but he's not a Boy Scout like Superman, and he's not the Dark Knight like Batman.
Right.
So I gave him the Batman and Superman blue, and then I accompanied that with the purple, because I felt like it married well, and
It does. It actually looks great.
Thank you. And then I with the emblem, same thing. I went with the black and a white to show sort of a dichotomy of light and dark, like positive and negative energy, so that he is. You can see, he's a flawed person, just like anybody else. But he's got superpowers, and he has to learn how to do it. And he's going to make mistakes. As you saw on the at the end page, he kind of got in a little over his head with the character. So that's sort of what we did here. And with these comic book covers, I drew these bottom 3. And then Jimmy Reyes,
Mhm.
he is the artist on this cover. He's worked with David Finch. He's done Wolverine and Batman and
Very nice. Yeah.
not Deadpool, but Daredevil.
Daredevil.
And Rob Marzullo, I got from Ram Studio Comics. He has a YouTube channel where he teaches people how to draw comic book characters. So if you want to learn how to draw comic books, you go to Ram Studios. He has so many YouTube videos on how to draw different aspects of the characters or the environments or anything like that. So I got with him and asked him because his art style is very similar to mine. So I said, hey, would you be interested in drawing a cover? And that's what he came up with. I colored it. I colored Jimmy's. I colored this one as well, but this one was colored by another artist down the way, Simon Blaze of Blaze Manga.
Okay,
So
alright.
he's on the main aisle, and he's the one that colored that issue. And this one here, I drew and colored myself.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This is a wonderful interview. It's been absolutely
I
great.
appreciate you coming
Appreciate
by.
you
Thank
so much. Vara, the VCR Show as Gomez, and my Morticia's behind the camera. And we will see you next interview. Vara of the VCR Show at our last interview here at Comicpalooza, because they'll be closing up here pretty soon. But we are here with Miss
Author Elizabeth Morris.
Elizabeth Morris, who has written this interesting line of various novels. Can you tell us a little bit more about your novels here?
Yes, they're a fantasy series set in the world of Bitotem with shapeshifters and mutants, bloods, with an adventurous series and a little bit of romance, a little bit of adventure, and there's magical, a little bit of magic that's fun.
Wonderful. And which one has been your favorite book so far?
My favorite book that I've written is actually the third one, this one right here.
All right.
Return of the Ambush. This is my favorite that I've written so far. I'm working on books 4 and 5. Book 4 is my favorite so far, but it's not out yet.
Okay.
This is my favorite I've written so far, is the third one.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the storyline and our characters involved here?
Yes. So you meet a girl named Kira. She discovers she's the last living tiger blood that is known. And she goes on a quest to unalive the person who massacred her people. And she meets a lot of characters along the way. She meets a wolf blood, an eagle blood, and a lion blood, and unlikely allies for a tiger. And they all help her take down the kingdom.
Wonderful, interesting. And so if someone was interested in purchasing one of your novels, where can they find your novels at?
They're all over Amazon. They are on Barnes & Noble's website. They're also available in all forms of audiobook all around the websites. And yeah.
And what's the best way for them to search for it? Like, what title should they be searching for?
You can search either Tiger's Blood by Elizabeth Morris or the series title Blood of the Beast by Elizabeth Morris.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
We
so
appreciate
much.
that.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Vara, the VCR Show.
Vada, the VCR Show. So sorry about that odd abrupt ending to the show. We're having thunderstorms here in Houston, and it hit and it caused the computer to go down. So we had a little bit of a technical problem there. But we really do hope you've enjoyed this wonderful special of the VCR show at Comicpalooza. It is a little bit longer than normal, but we have so many fascinating interviews that we want to include and information and all the good stuff. Something definitely we will be doing again next year if they invite us out. But it is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful time. Wonderful costumes, wonderful everything. And I think maybe me and Rox are going to need to have a show where we explain, hey, we're the best way to plan for some of these events, because there's a lot of planning that goes into this, and even if you're just attending it. So stay tuned for that. We may do that eventually. But until then, please check out our social medias, the VCR Show, at pretty much any platform, and also the wonderful defunct website that we have called thevcrshow.com. Please email us your thoughts, questions, comments, or answers to certain things to thevcrshow@gmail.com. And as always, I'm Vada without Roxy because we had a thunderstorm. So anyway, let us know, hit us up, keep following us, like us, share us, love us, because we love you. Until next time.